Hey everyone, welcome to Quantity Over Quality, episode 4. Welcome to the show. I'm Ethan. He's Bailey. Let's start the show. Ugh. Okay.
So, all right, we got to talk about it?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. That is my Cpap, the infamous Cpap at 22.
Cpap at 22.
Cpap at 22. Yeah, that was quite the. I just recently got it, like about a month ago, but I had to do some sleep studies for it. But the reason that pushed me for it was that my best friend's concern about my health.
Just for the best.
For
everyone.
Yeah, so like I kind of always snored, I guess, maybe, or not so much, but every time like I come home now, like, or like I would be like hanging out, or like say like we go drinking or something like that, and I like pass out, I would snore to where it like just sounds like someone is dying, like death.
You know how I would describe it, and like when I showed you that, I remember when that night. That night when I recorded it, so you would believe me and know that I was not exaggerating when I said it literally sounded like a chainsaw.
Yeah, it's so bad. So like people like when you snore, right? Like you're in denial. You're like, no, there's no way I snore because like one, you don't hear it and you don't like believe that you snore that loud and you just like, all right, you're just being over dramatic, And I've thought that way for a long time. And then this man, we're over at Alex's house, our other best friend, where I think we drank like a few beers, right? And like,
yeah, it was nothing too crazy, but
And I like sit on their couch and like we're gonna turn on a movie. And I pass out before like the previews even get through. And I'm like snoring, like rip. It's like a chainsaw ripping. And Bailey records it and then shows me it like the next day. And oh my God, I was just like.
It was bad.
I was like, oh my God. I was like holy shit.
I had to wake you up because like not only to be that guy, but like I genuinely like I don't know how you're breathing snoring this bad. Like it was.
I don't either. And then also another thing that made me like want to get checked out was like I would wake up in the middle of the night like gasping for air, and I was like, this does not seem
like how bad, like
right, like so the snoring was kind of always there, especially since like joining the military and stuff. And then the last like few months before like I did the studies, like it was like a month where I noticed like pretty much every night I'd wake up like gasping for air, and I'm like, dude, it's like someone holding a pillow over my face, like when I'm sleeping, like, and just like trying to suffocate me. And like, then they just like disappear when I wake up. Like, what the hell? And then like, and then I was like, looking into it and stuff. And then like, I would also like wake up for work, regardless how much sleep I got. If I got 4 hours versus like 10 hours of sleep, I still felt the same. I would wake up like with hatred in the world. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a morning person, but I'm a morning person when I get out of bed. But like getting up and out of bed is the hardest thing ever. And I'm just like, fuck the world. I hate everyone. I hate everything. Everyone can die. I hope everyone gets like a flat tire on their way to work today. Like it's that kind of.
Might be a little too far, but all right.
And so like I would wake up and I would still feel tired every day, and then like say like I would be like sitting in traffic and like I would just like rest my head. I could fall asleep. I like after I ate lunch, especially, I could fall asleep. If I like sat down on like a couch or was like watching TV, guaranteed sleep. Got in my bed for any type of reason, like if I was just on my phone, sleep. And I was like looking at all this stuff, and then I saw my like primary care provider, and I was like, hey, like I want to see if I can get like a sleep study done, because I remember I had a friend that got out of the military and he did it. And he was like, check it out. And he's like, you also get like, there's a lot of things that come with it, and like obviously if you get the CPAP, you sleep a lot better, and like you just feel more well rested. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. So I go to my doctor, tell him about it. I'm like, I'm like gasping for air. I'm like, I'm feeling tired all the time. And I'm like, I would like to see if I can get a sleep study done. He immediately, without hesitation, writes me a referral. And he was like, yeah,
we're getting your ass in a CPAP.
He was like, you have like all other things. And then so I call our hospital that like I work at, Walter Reed, and they were like, so our sleep study thing's full, but we can allow you to go to an outside source. And I was like, oh, dope. So I went to this place. I called it, scheduled a place, went there for my first sleep study, like after like 2 weeks after calling, which was really quick. And I do the sleep study, and it is they told me in advance. They were like, don't worry, like you're gonna be hooked up to some wires, but it's not a lot, so you can still sleep comfortable and all this. They fucking lied.
I mean, what are they gonna? You know how many people would go through it? They're like, so you're gonna look like a robot that has been ripped to. You've seen C-3PO in Star Wars?
That's exactly what I looked like, dude. Like
I remember the picture.
I got there, and she's like hooking up all this stuff. And so before I get there, like as I get there, I have to fill out this survey, and it's like, how likely are you to go to sleep? Like 0 to 3. And like the question is, how likely are you to go to sleep? Like sitting down watching TV. And I was like 3. How likely you go to sleep after eating lunch and like you sit down and just rest? And it was 3. Like, how likely are you to like take a nap after work? 3. Like how likely are you to like doze off in traffic? And I was like a 1, you know? How likely are you to like fall asleep talking to a friend? And I was like a 1, you know? And then like, but every other question was like 3s.
3. Yeah.
Like, this is bad. And then I get there, I get hooked up, right? They put me in like something like this. This is the thing that I had on. They have that. Well, actually, so the first night it's no CPAP. They hook up like 8 cords up to my head, like 1 on each eye, 1 on my cheeks, like 4 on my chest, my arms, my shoulders, and then like 4 run down my legs, and then I have this like battery that's attached to it all, like just wires. And they're like, "Don't worry, it's not a lot of stuff. Like you can still move around." And I was like, "I can't move. Like I feel like what dead people look like in coffins. Like just
it's stiff.
This is the only way I can sleep." And then 2, I'm in shorts and a shirt, and that's not how I sleep. I sleep naked, and I didn't want to like when she was hooking me up. I didn't want to be in my boxers and be like, "This is how I sleep." So deal with it. So I was just like, I'll just sleep in shorts and a shirt for the night. And then I get all hooked up. I get in bed and stuff. And she's like, "If you have to pee, don't worry. You can just unhook this, take it there, and go pee." And I was like, "Yeah, that's gonna happen." I'm like, I wake up like twice a night to pee.
I was saying just like hook you up
to the bladder of a small child. And then I go through the night sleeping, right? I toss and turn. It's hot. It's like 75 degrees in the room. It's hot. There's no AC. So that doesn't help with sleeping. I wake up and like 7 of the cords are not on my body anymore. There was like a pulse oxidifier, however you say that, on my finger. Gone. Don't know where it went. Just gone. And I was just like, okay. Like the wires on my legs, I like kicked them off. And then she just comes in. She's like, "So they're going to call you back in like a week or so and tell you if you have sleep apnea or not, and then schedule your next sleep study with the CPAP." And she's like, "But I just want to let you know." She's like, "You have severe sleep apnea." And I was just like,
there's no other way to put it. It's bad.
And I was like, "All right, I'll see you in like 3 weeks then, you know?"
What?
And then what's up?
You want to know my favorite thing about like just thinking about like not only you having like a CPAP like every night you go to sleep, or like anybody in the world, like let's say somebody breaks into like your house, or I guess your room, they just walk in, you know, looking around, and you wake up, you go, "Oh."
Sound like fucking Bane.
And I mean, like, like how are they gonna react to that? Are they gonna be like,
"Bane? No, I can't do this." You know, they're like, I'm gonna go to the next house. Is that a roller?
I know I'd run.
Yeah.
I mean,
who's there? Like, oh shit!
Like, this is not worth it.
And then so I go back like 2 weeks later. It was actually cool how quickly I got seen and how fast I did my sleep studies. And then I got my CPAP really quick too. So I do the second sleep study with the CPAP and all the other wires hooked up, and no AC, no stuff. And like, so I'm like going to bed for the second sleep study, and it's like 80. And I rang the bell for service, and I was like, "Can we like turn the AC on?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, we set the AC to like 57 degrees." And I was like, "It's not 57 degrees. I'm like, it's like 80. I was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Can you bring in a fan or something?" She brought in a fan, turned it on high, and it just hit me, and I was just like,
and you're just instantly out.
Went to sleep, slept with the CPAP. It wasn't terrible sleep. I woke up. So I think I probably woke up like every 2 hours, just because of like all the cords and stuff and all that. But I noticed I was like, after like every 2 hours, I was like, "Oh, this is actually like," they were like naps, but they were like deep naps. And I was like, felt like well rested naps.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I went to work, and I was just like, let's tackle the day, dude. Like, let's fucking
So
do this.
so you're about like what, a month in to
Month
sleep?
in.
Okay. So are you used to it?
Oh yeah, that's not a problem. So when it's like, so the last couple nights I've had no AC in my room,
Yeah.
and I have not slept with it because it's just so hot that I have to be like sprawled out naked on my bed in order to just like fall asleep. So I haven't slept with the last 2 nights, but the AC's fixed tonight. But when I like a normal room temperature, I throw it on, I go to bed, and it's like totally like easy to sleep with. The cord goes in here on the top, and like the cord is like a hose, easy to work with and all that. So it's no problem whatsoever. And then like I'll wake up probably once through the night just to like pee or something.
Yeah.
But like when I wake up after I got my CPAP and I like start sleeping, I was like, wow, like I feel like actually well rested, and I feel like calmer when I wake up, and I'm like, can I tell, like I feel like my blood pressure is going down and all this stuff. And so it just feels nice. The one thing I noticed is like I think the pressure of the air coming in is kind of way too high, because like I've noticed I've had a lot more headaches frequently. And I was like looking into it, and like they were saying like too much oxygen like going in can like cause like side effects. Can be,
Can
like,
you
headache.
adjust?
But
Can you
I
adjust?
can adjust it. So like the next time I have my appointment with my doctor for like following up, see how it's going, I'm gonna talk about that and be like, hey, can we like bring the pressure down, because like I'm having like headaches and stuff. But
Yeah.
like overall, it's working well. It's yeah, it's great. I never once thought in my life that I would have a CPAP. But okay, maybe eventually I would have a CPAP, but a
At
CPAP at
22?
22?
CPAP at 22. I mean, if you need it and it works, I say go for it.
I'm here for it.
And here's the thing. You're in it. You're in the game early, right? You're CPAP at 22. The technology
Yeah,
only progresses from here. So right now,
that's true.
you're looking like Bane / Darth Vader. Who knows how less obtrusive they can make it in the next, let's say, 10 years. So, because I mean, honestly, I feel like the technology is probably there right now. They just,
I saw this one ad on Instagram, because you know how cookies and shit works on your
yeah,
phone.
they're
So I
watching
talked
us.
about CPAP, and then CPAP's on my phone. And I think they're like, oh, you got a CPAP, so I know you want this, you
Yeah,
know?
I'll probably have
And
ads
there was
tomorrow.
this like, it was like like an AA meeting for sleep apnea guys, right? They all got their hoses and shit, and they're talking about it, and they're like Tom, where's your mask, man? He's like, I don't need it, I got this, and it's just, he's like, I press this button, and that's my sleep. It's like a chip that goes inside your body, and I was like, what the?
Okay. Actually,
How?
this brings me on to just a random thought of my head. So, last minute, any closing remarks you want to make on CPAP before we go into my tangent here?
CPAP. If you are struggling with sleep, get it checked out. You know, it's not hard to do a
Yeah.
sleep study.
It can
For
only,
the military,
help
really
you.
get it checked out. It's a good. I hear it's a big chunk of disability pay, and so a lot. It's very. I mean, you can't fake sleep apnea
Yeah.
because they do the sleep studies, but if you got it, get a CPAP. I mean, it'll change your health in a better way too. So, CPAP at 22, it's not so bad.
It's the next trend.
And scene.
Okay. So, this is just random thought that came across my head when you said, so you like talked about a chip being like in them or whatever.
Yeah.
So, how pro to the idea are you about getting chips put into your body for like various different reasons? Like let's say technology progresses and they're like, we can put a chip in your body for this, we can put a chip in your body for that. Where do you line in that? Because I know I'll be first in line more than likely if they're like, well, we can put a chip inside of your body and it'll allow you to do like things. So like one thing I thought like a practical use, something would be really cool. Put a chip in your body, right? Now that body part, like you would say they put in your arm, is now like a key to various things. So like your house, they hook it up with like your door
Like
and stuff.
cyberpunk stuff.
And yeah. So like instead of using your traditional key or whatever, having it's linked with the chip in your body.
So no one can break in.
Yeah, because like the only other thing I was thinking of like doing like thumbprint and stuff, but I think chipping the inside of my arm or whatever to do that, to be able to just like access it. So like if they can just like find a way to like, I mean right now your phones and all that do biometric scan and all that.
Yeah.
Like you grab your phone and it just unlocks at your touch. Soon as it's out, yeah. And then they could make it to where if it's away from your hand for so long, it'd be a setting you can turn on and off. Away from your hand for so long, locks.
I like that.
I think,
Like 20 seconds away from your hand, auto lock or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, and you could even make it proximity to
like
where if it's right in front of you.
Okay, so I'm 100% down. Like if we're comparing this like Cyberpunk, right? So you can like upgrade and buy better chips and things like that,
Yes.
and like, make your body like function better. I'm here for it.
I
And then
mean
our
that's like
world will turn into a cyberpunk world. I'm here for it.
I mean, it's a technology we kind of technically have. I mean, there's already cybernetic stuff like, like robotic arms and stuff that like work in like with your brains and your muscle. Like it's.
What if there was like a chip where like, it like killed cancer, fought off, like diseases and stuff. You know?
No, honestly, what if that is the route we have to take to get stuff like that? So it's like
I support it.
The technology I go to is like nano. Like, so what if like fighting off diseases like that? It's not something like an antibiotic or something like that. It's literally small robots, like Osmosis Jones kind of deal. You know how like it,
Good.
yeah. So it goes inside of your body and it can strategically kill what it needs to kill. And
I
then
like
gets out,
that.
and you poop it
I'm here
out, and
for
it
it.
just like collect it,
Poop the booze out.
take it back. Yeah,
I'm 100% here for it.
yeah. I mean, there's not many things I would say no to chipping myself. If I can claim to be a cyborg just because I put a chip in my arm, I mean, I became a lord for about 1,000 times less. You said let's do it,
That's true.
and we did it.
Yeah,
So
that's true. We're lords. Chipping, totally down. I know that like because think about it, like people are like, you get tracked by the government, things like that, and all that stuff. Dude, they already do have.
yeah, you carry a phone everywhere
like,
you go.
Okay, if you don't have a phone, then like no one knows you exist. Cool, like you made it. Like you're that one person in the world that doesn't have a phone and can't be tracked.
See, 4-year-olds have phones. Everybody's got a phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like just think like your phone is a great example of like they know where you are because like think about it, like you talk about something and then you go on Instagram and an ad pops up exactly what you were talking about and you're just like, how does it know that I want that?
I park my car and I get out. 3 seconds later, my phone goes. I look and it goes, "Did you just park your car?" And I'm just like, how did they know?
The birds, Bailey, the birds. Remember, I saw this thing. It was like birds. The reason why they're on the power lines is because they're charging.
Oh my god, did we just unveil a conspiracy that we might agree on? Because you've got me sold. I mean, if you think about it, you ever just looked up and like, man, that bird has been on that same part of that power line for like 3 weeks. What if that's just a decoy bird that's just up there surveilling, listening?
Yeah. Or what if, right? It was a bird that needs maintenance. And right now,
broken.
Servers are down,
So it turns out like every time you see people working on power lines have been fine for a minute. They're actually useless. We don't even need them anymore. They're just there. But when they're up there, they're actually fixing the birds. And
dude,
like we might need to look at. We might
cue that song with us.
Nobody's gonna get that.
that eerie. Just cue some eerie music, all right?
Illuminati. No, I mean, honestly, if you like, when it comes to conspiracy, the only ones we disagree on is
Paul being dead.
That's really that anybody's being dead for the most, because I know that like Avril Lavigne and ridiculous, but that we didn't even that was something we just kind of came up with, and like now I'm starting to question.
Dude, I saw this video on TikTok about this like alien life that like so there was like this blue, like it's in California thing, this blue thing like flew in, right? And then these guys went to the beach and there was cops around and like they closed off the beach and stuff, and they were like on top of a building and like they got a video and it was like a gray figure, just like a body. And I'm like, okay, like I was like, it was definitely a body, but it was just like it wasn't a human color at all. And I'm just like,
no, but so like I've always been a firm believer in some form of alien life. Do I like, to what extent I really don't know, but just think the universe is too big for there to not be something. Now, even if it's at a bacterial
Dude,
level. But like,
yeah. If
so
you think aliens aren't real, get your head out of your ass and grow up.
just think of just think about it. Like, one, just the statistical probability of there being something out there. If you think about it, like, if you think of like the age of the universe, how much progression we've made in
Oh yeah, there's like this thing,
you
right?
throw somebody, yeah, you throw somebody like, all right, so the universe is billions and billions and billions and billions and billions years old, or something like that. I don't know, not that.
Yeah.
You throw another beginning of a life somewhere like a billion years before we are. Just think of the progression they made before us, and so
Oh,
they're probably so
exactly.
advanced that think about it, if they're so advanced, they could be observing us without even like our recognition. They could be. There's people that believe they're already amongst us, and I'm like, I believe it.
Yeah.
What if they
Dude,
control us and we're in a simulation?
alien conspiracies are so interesting. But I saw this thing, right? It said if you were to like take all the years of Earth, right, like Earth's like age, right, and put it into like a 24-hour zone, right, and like say like okay, like day one was this is what happened according to day one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you put it in a 24-hour span, humans didn't become a part of Earth until 3 seconds ago.
No,
In
yeah. I
that
mean, if
24-hour span.
humans
How?
are,
Okay, so 3 seconds out of 24 hours. What happened? Like you can tell me that you can't tell me that nothing happened before we became a part of this planet. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's
if you think dinosaurs aren't real, bye. Like,
just think. I know if you think about it, like that's a good point. So like, um, so just think about if so like when dinosaurs went extinct, meteor, all that. Just think if it went forever without another life being on there. Like he said, our entire human time is like 3 seconds of a 24-hour, like in a ratio.
yeah,
Think of it, so like Mars, for example. What if forever ago something hit it, wiped out everything, and it's been so long that it's just been recovered. So like anything living has been just
yeah,
wiped.
yeah. It's true.
I like
Elon Musk is changing that.
yeah. So like I meant to bring this up. Like this was my original second point about it. So like how you were talking about like that blue thing. So like I mean even like the government's starting to like confirm like one they confirmed a while ago that UFO research is a funded government program. It's something they put money
Yeah,
towards. And then they just announced that this one footage that came out was legitimate to the extent that it's not a hoax. Like they're not saying like that's an alien, but they're like whatever
yeah.
that was in the footage flying around, we don't know what it was.
Do you remember there was like this video? I think it was like a year or two ago. It was like in New York, and then like the sky like turned like blue and shit for like a. Do you remember that?
I know I've seen multiple videos like where
I
like
wonder if I can
things
pull it
light
up.
up the sky. Because I know, like I'm not gonna be ignorant. Like I know asteroids and like meteors when they break the atmosphere, like they, obviously combust and glow and stuff, but they don't change direction. You know,
Yeah.
but you gotta pull up a
There
video.
was like, yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, the New York skyline turns blue. Now, all right, let me share my screen real quick.
Video on the fly. I like it. We didn't even plan this. We didn't even
Ready?
plan this whole conversation. Hold
No,
on.
we didn't.
Let us Let
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Kevin Hart in New York. Oh,
Good to go.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this happened in New York. I don't. It was like a year or two ago. But how fucking cool is this? Can you imagine seeing that, Bailey?
Yeah, that's freaking.
Can you imagine just
And they
in the
never
street?
claimed
Yeah,
what it
imagine
was.
you're in the street playing stickball. Yeah,
Oh,
they said a power plant explosion was the cause.
easy cover up.
Yeah, easy cover up.
Tom said it best, bro. Aliens exist.
Aliens exist. Hey, mom.
Something in the back room. All right.
And then it just like shuts off out of nowhere. You know, like that doesn't seem right.
Likely story, government. We know. We know what you're up to.
Yeah. Okay. So if for the listeners out there, if you're listening, the video we just watched was the New York skyline. The whole skyline of New York was like blue,
Yeah, just
not like
Google it,
sky
100%.
blue, like a bright neon blue. The whole skyline, and it was so bright that like it lit up. It's just like imagine if like the sun was like a fluorescent blue light, and that was your light, and that's how you saw like everything. That's how like bright it was.
Absolutely unreal.
Gotta love. I just wanna. Okay. Would you
Good.
like Area 51, right? I really wish we would have stormed the raid because like they couldn't stop us all. But
I know. I was so disappointed in it.
if I know, I would have. I wish we would have could have joined. But
Wish it went across the country. I would have been there.
yeah, where is it at? Fucking Nevada or like Arizona or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. It's around there somewhere.
Would you become like if the government was like, you can come and work with us in Area 51, but you have to up and leave your family and like you're dead, like you fake your death.
So,
Would you do it?
it's a good question. I want to say yes so bad.
I know.
This is the one thing that keeps me from doing it. Not the, oh, you'll never see your family again. Fuck them. My no, the reason, it's such a selfish reason too. I would hate to commit to that and say I will never, I don't want my normal life. I like go there. All right, they take you down, they blindfold you, you get there, and it's just an empty warehouse full of just nothing important. The most disappointing thing. So honestly, I don't think I'd sign up to go to Area 51 because why hide something there? Everybody knows Area 51 exists.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, it's such a like cliche. Aliens are there. Why would they put them there?
I think
Everybody knows.
What if they asked you this 20 years ago? Because that's different. That's different timeline, different story,
Probably.
and it's a lot more mysterious. You know what I mean?
I probably would, and even if they asked me today, I probably still would because I'm curious. I want to know,
Dude,
even if it is
like,
empty.
Can I fucking alien?
Imagine the byproduct of that.
Exactly, like a god, a demigod, but a demi-alien.
Like ethically, might be wrong, but could we create Superman?
Physically and like intelligently, dude.
Exactly. Like maybe that's the cure to cancer. See, we're just trying to cure diseases.
That
here.
right there is the cure to COVID-19.
The end all be all. Just bang an alien.
Just bang an alien.
Get ET into your bed. COVID's gone. It's simple.
Or your neighbor's wife.
You can go back to a normal life. Just bang ET.
Or your neighbor's wife.
Either one.
Because we all know she's probably an alien.
Freaky.
Rick James said it best. She's a super freak.
Super freak.
Dude, yeah, but like, just aliens? Like, I just want to meet one. And like, not tell anyone about it. Besides like 2 people.
It's like, how do you say hello? Kick to the nuts.
Or like the movie The Watch. Jamarcus.
Oh, Jamarcus?
Hi.
Okay, no, that's okay.
It's
so
this.
like,
She sucks my balls.
okay, that's what would you want aliens to look like? Because you have the stereotypical like gray guy, and then you also have like the things from like District 9 where they're like human-esque, but they're also like
weird. Really weird looking. Yeah.
See, the honestly, just be kind of, it'd be awesome still that aliens exist. I'd hate for them to be like animal-like. I definitely want them to be intelligent, but I would hope they would be humanoid in a sense. But
I either hope they're either kind of like humans or like, but you can tell them apart. But like they can still be in our everyday lives where like no one's really affected by it or things like that. Or I want the complete opposite where they all look like Roger off of American Dad.
I'm convinced that's what they look and sound like.
Think so?
Probably. But
they walk like this.
Dude. Hey, Steve. Dude, do you think about like the size of the universe though? Like, what if like the aliens are actually like the size of planets? Because I mean, just...
okay, yeah, like what if we like to them, we are what ants are to us.
No, it's a good point.
That's what we are to
we
them.
have things that are smaller than us. Who's to say? I mean, there's already things bigger than us on Earth.
These things could be like planet destroyers.
We're fucked.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Oh my god, I never thought about that.
We've always been fucked. But we're fucked.
Like, why even continue on from this point if we know we're...
But imagine though, like an alien is just like 79 feet tall.
Like,
and you're just like,
no.
And yeah, and they're like, yeah, you should see our mall. and their
It's
mall is like
out of
Earth.
this world. Good one. Wow, you got to see the humor isn't changed. Like,
I just like. I wonder, like, what if like you were to go to other planets and like we are like giants, which I feel like is very unlikely, but
that they're smaller than we are.
exactly. We just need to fucking travel to other planets and galaxies and
No,
universes.
like it's
Like,
so
why haven't we
depressing.
figured this shit out yet?
I know. Like
Is it that hard?
just go up and go. Once you're in space, you float. You can't fall. You just go. I
Just
definitely, I
go.
would, I really hope I'm alive in the point to where they get somehow find a way where they can get a rocket up and get enough people in it where they can keep reproducing and just start sending it off and find a way to keep it fueled. Like find some renewable energy, whether it be like solar in space. I mean,
Yeah.
because I mean, just think about
The
it's gonna,
sun's right there.
the sun's right there, and you can just travel from sun to star, and you're always getting solar. I mean, I don't know how that works. This is just me guessing,
Yeah.
but I want to see the first man on Mars soon. We put a freaking helicopter on there. I mean, not like our type of helicopter, but I mean, that was just recently. The first aviation flight happened on Mars like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, like, speaking of like space and all that, now if you were offered the opportunity, like Matthew McConaughey was in Interstellar, to leave and go to space and like try to like, freaking save the world,
Save the world.
But in chance, like, in the risk is like when you come back to Earth, like your kids might be older than you or dead. Like, do you do it?
So I don't know because it would depend on how confident and how much I knew that I was.
So, okay, finish it real quick.
I was like, wow, really? Okay,
Sorry.
off. If I knew like I was the only person, like, it's in that movie, like, he's like, they're like, I can't remember the plot of the like why he's the one to go.
It was like based around him, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, like there's a reason. I don't remember why, but like if it was like if they were like, dude, the skills you have are literally Earth's last chance, I probably would, but it wouldn't be. It'd be basically I would be Matthew McConaughey. I would have the same thought process he has. I basically already am Matthew.
So this is what I think, right? So like, all right, for you to be that kind of person, you obviously like you have to be obsessed with what you do, right? And so I think that right there is what we're not incorporating, because if you're obsessed with that stuff, with with what you do, like without hesitation, you're gonna do it. The only thing is, how am I gonna find out the best way to say it to my kids? Which is exactly what Matthew McConaughey did. Like, he was doing it regardless, and he was just like, I have to do it. In his eyes, he has to do it. Even if he didn't have to do it, he has to do it, But I think, like, if we were at that level, you'd be so invested in, wanting to go to space and, like, fixing all this stuff, and you thinking that you can do all this and solve it all, that you, like, in not saying no would be, like, in your back pocket. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it'd probably be on just the back burner. Like, you wouldn't even think about it. You would just be like, oh, I'm going. Yeah, exactly.
Because the second you do, you start, it's going to be distracting.
We're not incorporating that, because we're just like thinking as like us as normal people, like, oh, can. Yeah. Because then we're like, well, then if I can do it, anyone else can do it. So I can just say no,
It's always, you'll never be able to honestly answer something like that you'll never be putting yourself, just because how could you? Yeah,
that's true.
It's like saying, like, all right, movie with freaking what's his face, where he falls in the crevice and gets the rock on his arm.
James Franco
in 127 I never can get it right. I've never like would you cut off your own arm to get out of there? He did it,
yeah,
but he's definitely, like, if I put me now in there, probably not.
Yeah.
Like, he's just, he's that kind of person. He's a survivalist. He will do what needs to be done, and he struggled, so I probably couldn't.
I think I would just. It's hard. I mean, I think
it was a dull pocket knife.
That human, like, instinct will come in where you're just like, you ignore the pain receptors, and because you're just like, I'm doing this to survive and get the fuck out of here. Like, I will do anything.
See, that's scary though,
because that's something that doesn't that you can't have come up in your mind and act on it until
It's
you're
there.
at that point where like you're gonna die. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's like when you think like of, and this like happens, like crash land, no food, only people around you. One person gets kind of sick and ill, he's kind of dying. It's like,
do you eat them?
if that's an answer, the question you'll never be able to
That's
answer
a, that's
honestly.
enough. That's enough meat for a year.
Yeah, just pretend it's ham.
Just
Like, what are
cook
we
it.
eating today? Middle finger.
It's like really crunchy, huh? Yeah,
Kind of have to think about it. Just throw some sand in it.
got a lot of fat on it.
What are we eating today? The left ass cheek.
So much hair.
What can you shave it?
But yeah, I think those are like. It's always hard to like for people try to answer questions like that.
Yeah.
It's fun to talk about and fun to talk about how you would do it and how you would act on it and things like that. But like ultimately, those are things that you'll never know until it happens.
Yeah.
And no matter how much preparation you do for things like that, when it happens, all of that goes out the window.
Yep.
And you don't even think about it.
Just do.
Unless you're like someone who has just always been like in those situations their whole life and that's what they train for, like military men, you know, like Rangers and like SEALs or shit like that, where like they're constantly under that like distress
Yeah.
and how to
Trained on
act like
instinct.
that. Yeah, and like, but that's their life is how they're trained to do things like that. Then yeah, okay, they could probably do it, but a normal average American, no. As soon as they enter that like fight or flight, like they don't think of anything and they're just like
what the hell do I do?
Yeah, it's gotta love it. Space, man, aliens.
What? I don't even know how we got onto this. But
Now okay, since we're still on the space thing, would you ever join like a mission to colonize another planet if it meant never returning to Earth? Which is kind of like what we kind of that was like saving Earth, but like
yeah, this would be like, all right, we take people to Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they came up to my door, knock knock, hello, who's there? And they're like, you've been chosen to step on a spaceship today, drop your life here, and go to Mars, and be one of the first colonists on the colony on Mars. I'd be like, yes, because who wouldn't? That'd be awesome. The only way I wouldn't is if
history.
Because I mean, by the point that they're gonna say, we're gonna take you to Mars, they already know what they're doing. It's not like they're gonna get there and you gotta stick in a spaceship while they try and figure out how to get you in an oxygen bubble.
Exactly.
They've got that figured out. They probably already have
a Martian, you know.
No, yeah, they've got your Netflix all taken care of. Like, they don't. The last thing you want to do is put a bunch of humans on Mars and have them get bored.
Yeah,
that's how wars start, man.
Yeah, they're gonna start killing everyone.
God, that's how long.
I like that though. That's a good answer because, like, yeah, obviously, like, people are like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, dude, don't worry about it. Like, that shit's already thought up and planned out. Like, you don't have to do anything, but besides what they tell you to do, and what they're gonna tell you to do is essentially, okay, have sex with someone and create a child.
See, but that's kind of a. At what point? See, like you bring up kind of a good point. You said you're gonna get there and gonna tell you what to do. I feel like they gotta be careful about that because you don't want like an instant dictatorship to start up. Because like if it's just because you have that whole I'm trying to think
wanting to revolt against, you know.
Yeah, because it's like the white coat theory, like a person in power being able to influence other people, like basically just like higher up, like, all right, we're the scientists, we're obviously more powerful, more powerful than you. You do this, and I don't care what you say. So they would have to like map everything out like that, like basically set up a government.
Okay, do you think like if we were to colonize on Mars, do you think eventually, right, after you are like reproducing, that eventually your children and like their children will start adapting to that lifestyle on Mars and will eventually like be able to like breathe and walk on Mars like how we do on Earth, you know what I mean?
So it really depends on how, like, where you stand on your belief of evolution. If you believe evolution is most certainly a thing, I do think it would be possible to eventually adapt to live on. It would depend on if you're constantly under, like, let's say an oxygen bubble, probably not. Yeah. But if you find a way to like kind of, because like that, like, the theory of evolution is like, the strongest one survives. So like they always
Yeah.
use like the giraffe as an example why they have such long necks because their food was so high. So the one with the little bit taller neck are the ones that typically lived. So that gene pool continued, and that's why you don't see short neck giraffes. So it would be different if you were in oxygen bubbles. It probably not. You probably wouldn't be able
Well,
to breathe.
that's what I was thinking. Like, I think you would eventually over time because, like, I think what would happen, right? So, say you're doing an oxygen bubble, right? And then you take that pregnant woman. This might, obviously, like this might lead to like the death of a child or something. But, like, you take that pregnant woman, you take her out like on the planet, you like just occasionally, like rinse and repeat, have her breathe in the air of
Yeah.
Mars without anything on, like once a day, and like kind of like have that get used to her body, and then like
It's
what
possible.
that child, right? Hopefully it's a daughter, and she keeps going until it's a daughter. That child does the same thing, and then eventually, like they're just breathing it in, and then eventually that child that's born can just breathe in regular air on
If
Mars,
there
like
was if there was ways that they were able to regularly like go out of like the oxygen bubble and get exposure to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, who even knows what childbirth is like outside of Earth and like in zero gravity?
Dude,
Who knows? Who knows?
I wish we could go back to when we were like 4 and be like, "Hey, mom, hey, dad." I'd be like, "Hey, mom, can like I'm gonna be an astronaut."
Have you ever heard of the process it takes to actually be an astronaut to the point where you have a chance to go to space? It is incredibly hard because you have to go through all these like science and technology. You do all this stuff, go through your college, all of this stuff, be like the top of your class just to get put at the bottom of a list, to work your way all the way to the top of that list to get to the next step of being at the bottom of the list. And that keeps going because like I was watching this Jordan Harbinger podcast where he had a guy who was like an astronaut and all that, and he did all of that stuff and still has yet to go to space, and he's like in his 50s or something like that.
That's insane.
Because I mean, think about how often do we go to space?
Not that often, but I
No.
think with what Elon's doing and his potential, we could see it a lot more often. And
Yeah.
I honestly, I
saw
think because how becoming an astronaut is like one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
I think as we progress more, it could be a regular job.
Well, no, I think that's the case with a lot of things, and it's one of the reasons why I feel like college and stuff is overpriced. Go 30 years ago, the price is a bit justified because the only way you could get that level of education was to go and have somebody who knows it teach it to you.
And
But
pass it
now
on.
you have access to almost any piece of information you want in your pocket. Just Google it.
Excluding classified information.
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing. But like that's what I'm saying. Like and I even like noticed it in classes too, like how often just professors utilize just something like that to teach it to you. Like I definitely think college should be cheaper because information is easier. I don't think it should be
honestly,
free.
In most foreign countries, college is like free. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
not. Sorry, not most foreign, but like most countries.
Yeah, I mean, and like, and that money is still paid somewhere else. Like taxes, it typically are a little bit higher in places like that,
Yeah.
like universal healthcare and stuff like that. Like, it's normally equated out a little bit other places. But
Also, but like a lot of the countries are like the U.S. is like 28th in education, which isn't
yeah,
the best. So like all the other countries, like they shit on us in education, and those countries are like free education. You know what I mean? So like,
I think we've gotten worse too. And if you think
yeah,
about it,
I think so too.
just like taking like, I mean, it's just kind of anecdotal, but like I start looking at like some of the stuff like they teach me, they focus on the wrong things. Like when it comes to teaching you stuff, like I don't even know. Like they start focusing too much on like when it comes to math, like they're not teaching you what, like you have a problem. Here's how to get it. Here's what to do to get the solution. They start making you overthink simple things. So it's like they focus too long on stuff like that, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
And
Like I definitely think it's more of a curriculum change we got to make in order to have like better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, did you see? I saw today. Now that we're off space aliens and Cpaps. I'm sure we'll come back to it.
Oh, the
by
future,
the
of
end of this
course.
episode. Aaron Rodgers said today he's so disgruntled with the Packers organization
Yeah,
that he didn't want to return to the team
I
next year.
saw that tweet. I think he made.
Where do you think Aaron Rodgers will go?
All right, so he said there's three. This is such a jump off point. I love it. They said there was three teams. These are the only three he will go to, and it was the 49ers, the Raiders, and I don't remember the third one. I don't know. 49ers, Raiders, and some other team. He was saying those are the only three.
So 49ers out the window. They just drafted Trey Lance.
I know it's crazy.
That's their future quarterback.
That would have been such a great place for him to go because he was a 49ers fan his entire life.
I can see the Raiders because Derek Carr is in like his 12th season. I mean, but also Derek Carr hasn't done enough for the Oakland Raiders to like, they'd be like, you know what, like we're gonna keep him no matter what. If they were offered Aaron Rodgers, they would definitely take that shit. I mean, I would. Fuck yeah, like a potential quarterback to lead your team to like a title game or possible Super Bowl. Like for the next like 3 years while he's got left in the league, dude. Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's like
hey, Derek Carr, you can set the bench and learn from this guy.
Yeah, just when you sit back, take notes.
Yeah, when you come back, you can hopefully just do what he just did.
Because they were throwing around the idea of him possibly going to the 49ers. I'm like, that'd be cool. I started thinking about it though. I'm like, it'd be cool, but it'd be very much temporary because I mean he's not gonna be around forever. He's not gonna be a Tom. Could be.
But... He's 37.
Yeah, so he's kind of up there.
37 on an MVP season. Just won the MVP at 37. That's fucking impressive.
Yeah, the dude's a legend. That's why I would have loved to see him.
Tom won it at like 40, which is even more impressive. But
the dude just doesn't age physically.
He ages like fine wine. Dude was so okay. He wasn't ugly, but
no, he's gotten better looking as he's gotten older.
Dude, he's so good looking.
Like Benjamin Button.
Maybe? Tom Brady could be like a guy that you could like question your sexuality with or like explore.
Feel like if he came up to you and he's like, "We about to get it on," you may say no, but you would think about it.
You've seen Ted 2, right? Like, dude, remember Ted 2? They're like, Ted's trying to have a baby, but like he can't,
they're trying to get the perfect specimen.
And they try to jerk off Tom Brady and steal a specimen because that's a perfect specimen. And then like when they lift the blanket to like jerk him off, it just goes, oh, and it's like gold lighting.
Yeah, like Pulp Fiction, like.
And then Tom like wakes up, throws Ted over the thing, and Mark catches Ted, and he goes, perfect spiral.
I know. I was gonna try the Boston accent. Couldn't do it in the moment.
Now, okay, Tom Brady is a great-looking guy. Is there a man in this world that, if he tried, could like possibly change you or get you to experiment with the other gender?
Like, I wouldn't say immediately no. Basically, what you're asking. Like if he came up to me and said,
"Could you go gay for this person?" or would you try stuff with this person? All right, my number one, Zac Efron. My number two, Miles Teller.
I think Zac Efron's definitely up there. I don't even know.
Like if Zac Efron like took his hand, like my hand, like put it on his abs.
No, let's be honest. Put it on his dad bod.
Yeah, I'd be like, don't stop.
Or are we about to Zac Efron? Like,
I'd be like, I'm gonna make a child with this man.
It's gonna be High School Musical on the sheets.
Like Miles Teller is not like hasn't been a bad looking dude his whole life, but like lately, like the last few years, his career has blown up.
I know.
And he is also shredded.
I kind of wish his Fantastic Four career would have got taken off.
He got shredded for the movie Bleed for this, the boxing movie. And then if you haven't seen Top Gun 2, the trailer, he is absolutely shredded in it, and I'm here for it. So yeah, who's the guy you would go gay for?
But you took Zac Efron, so I'm not gonna take that.
I know your one answer.
Humor me. What is it?
What you gonna do with the butt like that? Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. That was. I was avoiding saying because I knew it was probably too obvious of me. But yeah, if I'm being honest, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is such a good-looking guy.
Yeah. Just
and
he'd be an awesome dude to hang out with. Like,
This isn't gay. It is okay to tell men they're good looking. All right, let's normalize that. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
you're a good looking guy. Also, be like, hey, nice dick. You know,
It's 2021. Like,
yeah, dude, it's women compliment women all the time. Guys, we need to compliment other guys all the time. All right, kings.
kill the
We're doing
stigma
king things,
right now.
Yeah. Also, let's break the porn stigma. It's okay to do
It's
porn.
a life profession.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a need. There's a market. We all know it.
So Ryan Reynolds, Zac Efron, Miles Teller, are those our three? Like, would you change those three at all?
Only other person I might throw in there, maybe Chris Pratt. Like now, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt now. What about Chris Hemsworth? Okay, Chris. Fuck, marry, kill. Chris Evans, Chris Pratt. Actually, I'm sorry. There's gonna be four: Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Pine.
So what's the fourth option then, or is it just
I don't know. Okay,
leave in the corner, put baby in the corner?
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
You're right. Sorry.
Would you? Okay, let's just do like. Which one would you? Okay, what's the number one person you would pick out of those Chris's? Like, who's your number one? You'd be like, I want this guy, no matter what.
Out of the Chris's?
Out of the Chris's, the four Chris's.
Pine, Evans, Hemsworth, Pratt. So what am I choosing again? Like, what's number one to what?
Like, if they were to be your husband or like partner or something along those lines. Or who's the hottest? Who do you just think the hottest is? Not, it could be off looks, personality, everything. You know, everything.
Okay, so which one would I choose to just have around my presence the rest of my life, and the rest die?
And you find the most attractive to you or the hottest to you based off of those, assets. I think we're gonna have the same answer. You want to say it on three?
No, I'm nervous. All right.
1, 2, 3. Pratt.
Chris Pratt. I guess saying Chris was kind of irrelevant.
Yeah. Chris Pratt.
I was gonna say Pratt.
Yeah, because one, this dude's in Parks and Rec. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, and that's like
he's already
personality. Check.
Chris. Okay, all the Chris's are actually funny guys, but Chris Pratt, his humor, is another tier level compared to the other Chris's. You know, not a bad looking guy. He got shredded for Guardians of the Galaxy. Perfect dad bod. Yeah. He's the one.
He's stared down a freaking whatchamacallit from Jurassic World.
Velociraptor?
Blue.
He raised
blue from the egg.
So who's number two then?
Probably Hemsworth.
This is it. Yep, mine's Pine.
And then I'd say probably
my 3 is Hemsworth, my 4 is Evans.
I'd say so. I think I go Pratt, Hemsworth,
Evans, Pine.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. I like Chris Pine.
I love Chris Pine, dude. Him and Gal Gadot, their love in Wonder Woman is so beautiful. Also, like, it's just Chris Pine, to me, is probably the best looking Chris out of all of them. The best looking, like, I think so. Him in Star Trek, Captain Kirk, he's just such a good looking guy.
Yeah.
His voice too. His voice is soothing. That's a nice voice.
I know, that's why he made such a great Spider-Man for like 20 minutes
for the multiverse.
Not even that.
And then Hemsworth.
Dude's freaking huge, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how many Matthews are there?
Too damn many.
Oh, sorry.
I say that. I can only think of one.
Yeah, McConaughey. There's only one.
One McConaughey. One Matthew to roll them all.
Johnson McConaughey, President VP.
Oh, yeah. We should get into that.
Yeah. We're big fans of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Matthew McConaughey. And I was talking to some other people. They were saying, like, they saw on the internet, like, those two are, like, two of the most, like, if they were to run for president, like, people would vote for them. And then, like, also, like, people are trying to, like, get Matthew McConaughey to become a governor of Texas.
Yeah, he's already, like, and, like, to say that's out of, like, the possibility of either one of those guys running and getting a president, like, becoming president. Hell no, is that out of the possibility. We've had actors become president before. Ronald Reagan. Dude came straight from Hollywood to the
Um,
presidency.
Donald Trump. I mean, he
Yeah.
had his own show, The Apprentice.
Honestly, I think we're due for an unorthodox president. I That's the one thing I did like about Donald Trump being president is
Didn't we just have our unorthodox president?
what?
But it's Donald Trump. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's what I'm saying.
That was totally from left field.
Yeah. I'm over here in right field, like what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
guess
I like I don't know.
what?
It's like, you always had that stereotypical like politicians are all liars and all that. It's like, well, maybe we need to stop making politicians presidents. Let's start
But
throwing curveballs in there.
yeah, like take out the electoral college. This is a popularity contest, guys.
This is American Idol.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson as your front runner for president, and Matthew McConaughey as your vice president. And it's not going to get reversed. And here's why, right? So Dwayne Johnson, right? Dwayne Johnson is the people's champ. Also, he has access to more. He has access to more. Like he's more powerful. Access
You
to
hate the guy.
a lot. Has access to a lot more things than Matthew McConaughey does. And he's also like a person for the people. Not saying Matthew McConaughey is not, but The Rock has just like those platforms that can do these things and make things happen that much faster. But and like he's great at public speaking. But McConaughey, right? The VP kind of speaks a lot more than the president, especially when it comes like to news and stuff. McConaughey's for the people and what we want to hear, right? So the president is an actions guy, right? He does, and all this stuff. The VP is like the hype man.
The voice
that makes you get excited for the shit that the president's about to do. And what other better person to do that than Matthew McConaughey?
Exactly. Like
he just does his voice, how he does, so seductively and beautifully, and he talks to you and convinces you, like, hey, this is a great thing.
I mean,
green lights.
Exact. The dude single-handedly almost made me purchase a Lincoln, even though I know I cannot afford it and it would ruin my life. I would be in debt the rest of my life.
Oh, my next car is a Lincoln Navigator.
I don't know how anyone else could watch those commercials and not. I felt cool just watching it.
Or like that one where he's like on the ice, the trunk's open, and it's like the deep hole fishing stuff.
I know. Honestly,
the commercials.
The commercials are starting to like. He's not even in the Lincoln's just there. They're becoming McConaughey like, commercials.
He literally just goes Lincoln, and you're like, I want a Lincoln.
Yeah, like he does. What really happens is they're like, all right, we're going to Matthew McConaughey's house. We're just gonna film him doing what he does, and we're just gonna maybe edit a Lincoln in the background, say it, maybe get him to say it.
He talks about it on like his book. He's like, like, or you can become like a commercial guy and just get free Lincolns all the time. And I was like, I would love that. Free Lincolns, bro. Let's go.
Like, which Lincoln am I gonna take today? 4-seater, 2-seater?
And then like he's in the Lincoln Lawyer. He has a Lincoln Town Car. If I don't have a Lincoln Town Car and my own personal driver before I die, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What's the point of life?
There isn't one.
But like, so when XRP and Elongate takes off and we become disgustingly rich and have money to just kind of buy whatever, I'm buying a Lincoln Town Car and a driver, and I'm also buying a Lincoln Navigator.
And I might follow that. So
we'll get matching Lincoln Town Cars and drivers or matching Lincoln Navigators.
I mean, since we already know it's inevitable that we're gonna be rich, like it's gonna happen.
Dream big, guys, and it happens.
Yeah, I mean, what fun is it to say it probably won't happen? A lot more fun, thinking like, oh, it's gonna. I invested 30 cents of this, and it's gonna turn into 30 mil. How awesome is that to think that's your outcome?
Dream big, and also like a little bit. You throw in $50, $100, like turns into something bigger. Like, dude, you can afford to lose like $50, $100. That's like food money or like shoes. Just don't get shoes or don't go out to eat those times and
walk barefoot.
Bam, like Elongate is really fun and exciting because it is like what 1/1000th, 1/10,000th of a penny or something like that.
Very small number.
So there's like 6 zeros in front of it, whatever that is. 6 zeros in front of it before there's an actual number, and like $50 worth gets you like 80 million shares of Elongate. How cool is it to say you have 80 million shares of something?
I've been telling people who do not care in the world. I'm just like, hey, I just want to throw this out there. I know you're in the middle of like important talk, but yesterday I just bought 85 million shares in a stock. Can you believe that?
And they're like,
and they look at me, they're like, really? I'm like, yeah.
And imagine, right? So those 6 zeros, right, goes down to like 4 zeros or 3 zeros or 2. It goes to a penny. You're $50.
Every time they break a zero, that's a Lincoln.
Yeah. Every time, yeah. Your $50 just turned into like millions, possibly. how cool is that to like think about and just be like, you know what, let's just do it, you know?
How do you think? So let's say, all right, Elongate breaks. It hits $5 tomorrow, right? And you're just, I know, I had to hold back the vomit as well. But let's say that happens. You're disgustingly rich. How do you think your personality would change?
Oh my god, I'm gonna be such an asshole.
How could you not?
Okay, so I'd be an asshole in all the right ways. We're like
fuck you. I'm donating to charity.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would love that. I saw Mark Cuban, right? He said, like, he was in a basketball game. He said, fuck. And they fined him, like, they were like, oh, sir, you can't say that. We just fined you $10,000. He's like, it's $10,000 for every time I say that? And he just goes, he's like, fuck yeah. And boom, $20,000, just charity.
It's like, that's like someone, like, in my, like, put in perspective, like, I say ass, they're like, Kenny, right now. Like, it's like, it the hardest part about that is finding money that small.
Yeah.
You got change for a nickel?
Got change for a nickel?
Like,
but
NICKEL. Nickel.
Yeah, that's the right way to spell it.
Right?
Bailey over here. Yeah, that's the right way to spell it. You spell it. Oh, fuck. No, that's the wrong way to spell it. The right way is LES. Right?
No.
No, it's ELS, yeah.
Yeah, I do LES.
Now I look like the idiot because the whole time
learn to spell, idiot.
You spelled it wrong this whole time, and I corrected you. And you're so good at convincing me that the way you approached that and set it up right there, I was like, no, that's not right.
But that's what I was saying. I was saying the right way because I know my whole life I've been spelling it wrong.
Yeah.
Education system, man, failed me.
28th, man, failed him. We never learned about nickels in school.
Oh, only dimes.
Only dimes.
Quarters. 13. But yeah, you like stock talk? That rhymes.
Look into Elongate, guys. Think like, and also what's cool about Elongate is it's actually a great cause. Like, their whole purpose is like donating to charity stuff. Like they launched a month ago. They've already donated like $2 million to charity. And what's really cool is when you become a member of Elongate and you own shares of it, whenever someone sells, right? So how it works is say you have, 1 million shares of Elongate and you sell, 10% of those million shares automatically go into the Elongate community. So 5% goes to the CEOs and like the people that run the company, 5% goes to them for like their commission fees or whatever. The other 5% gets redistributed into everyone else that is a member of Elongate. So you just get free Elongate. And so like I started out with like 50 million like a week ago, which was like it's like $30, $40, right? Just nothing. And
Sound cool for so cheap.
I've received 6 million in a week just because it gets redistributed to the people in the community. How cool is that? You just keep getting free Elongate.
It's the gift that keeps giving.
How cool is that, man? And like they launched a month ago, so you can still jump on this train. It's kind of a difficult process. YouTube it, how to buy Elongate. But what's promising is it's such a complicated process to buy it that when it gets launched on platforms where it's easier to buy, you already know that price is going to skyrocket
through the moon.
You just became a millionaire.
It's a small price to pay for salvation.
Small price to pay. What did it cost?
Everything. Should we throw in the teaser for next episode?
Oh yeah, so I imagine we're wrapping up right now, right?
Yeah, probably should be getting there to the end about an hour 4.
Hour 4, yeah. So next week, possibly, we're gonna have our first guest on the episode. We've been working out with him and stuff, and just we're gonna make sure that everything works well and he's able to do the episode with us and all that. But stay tuned and watch and listen and get excited for next week's episode with our possible guest speaker, not guest speaker, just guest on the episode.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll hint it out once we confirm if he's available or not, like 100% available. Like he said he's down to do it, but we want to like confirm. Maybe in a few days we'll do a reveal and get excited for the episode and all that. But make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff at QOQ Podcast. Give us a like and follow. Follow us subscribe to us on Apple, Spotify,
Everything.
Everything you can. YouTube, like and follow.
Patreon.
Patreon, support us. Make some money.
Keep going.
If you just click the link in our bios, my bio on Instagram, Ethan_Likens, Bailey's is on there too, and Q Podcast. You click the link in the bio, it takes you to all the platforms where you can access the episodes, like Apple, Spotify, Google, and all these other platforms. And then YouTube, you would just have to look up on YouTube Quantity Over Quality Podcast,
and it pops right up.
Yeah, and then you can email us with any of our past episodes, and any of your answers that you have. Don't forget to email us and tell us your answers and why or how and all that kind of stuff. Or if you have any questions or suggestions for us, don't shy away from emailing us at qoqpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. And we're still waiting on The Rock's response. He'll be on the show.
Yeah. So, if you're also watching, get on our post, tag The Rock, send him our video, all that kind of stuff. Let's get him to recognize this, because Rock has 240 million followers.
Yeah, it's time for the little guys to get a win for once,
Yeah, we get that one shout out from The Rock. Our 100 fans just turned into 100 million fans. No big deal.
Yeah, we're just trying to represent the average person, and The Rock would be the best.
We'll quit our daytime jobs, and we'll become full-time podcasters.
I see no losing situation.
So this behind us, whatever's behind him, won't look like this anymore. You know why? Because we'll have a studio, and we'll be
custom made.
Custom studio. And then our other podcast will start as well, the Try Podcast.
We'll have so much content. I'm a vomit at the amount of content.
Make sure to do all that kind of stuff, guys. We hope to see you guys for next week's episode. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm Ethan.
I'm Bailey.
And we hope you enjoy the episode. And this is Disney 365.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next week, guys. Have a good night.
Adios.